Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is one you won't want to miss, especially if you've ever found yourself wondering, do they like me as more than just a friend? It's a question many of us have asked, whether we're catching feelings for a close friend or we're just picking up on some subtle signals we can't quite decode. The truth is, when someone starts to develop deeper feelings, they often won't come right out and say it. Instead, their behavior shifts in small but meaningful ways. Psychology tells us that attraction, especially when unspoken, leaves behind clues. And if you know what to look for, you'll start to see these signs clearly. So in today's video, we're diving into 6 hidden signs that someone secretly sees you as more than a friend, backed by psychological insights and human behavior research. We're talking body language, subtle changes in conversation, emotional cues, and everything in between. These are signs that most people overlook, but once you know what to look for, the mystery will start to unravel. And be sure to stick around until the end, because the 6th sign is something so subtle, it often goes completely unnoticed. But it can reveal everything. Let's get started. Sign number 1, they go out of their way to spend time with you. One of the first hidden signs that someone sees you as more than a friend is their effort to spend time with you intentionally. And I'm not just talking about hanging out in group settings or sending a casual "hey" every once in a while. Here's the deal. When someone starts catching feelings, their priorities shift. Suddenly you become one of their top priorities. They find reasons to be around you, even when it's not entirely convenient for them. Think about it for a moment. Do they go out of their way to join you for events they normally wouldn't care about? Do they offer to help you with things, even small errands, just so they can see you? These aren't just friendly gestures. Psychology calls this behavioral investment, the tendency for someone to invest time and energy into a person they're emotionally connected to. They might show up at your workplace just to say hi, or always make themselves available when you mention needing company. These moments might seem small, but they indicate a deeper motivation. Here's another angle. When you make plans, are they quick to say yes? Or even better, do they initiate plans themselves? Friends will hang out when schedules align, but someone who sees you as more than a friend, they'll create those opportunities. It's not always about grand gestures. Sometimes it's in how they choose to spend their free time. If you notice they're willing to shift their schedule just to see you, or even cancel other plans, they're probably not just being friendly. Bottom line, if they consistently make time for you, even in subtle ways, it's likely they want something more than friendship. Sign number 2, they remember the smallest details about you. Let's move on to the 2nd hidden sign. They remember the tiniest things you say. Now, this one is subtle but powerful. Most people struggle to remember details in everyday conversation, especially when it comes to casual acquaintances. But if someone remembers your favorite coffee order, the name of your childhood pet, or a random story you told once in passing, take notice. Why? Because remembering small details is often an unconscious sign of emotional investment. Psychology explains this through the concept of selective attention. When someone likes you, their brain starts to prioritize information related to you. In other words, they're more likely to absorb and recall what you say, even when it's not particularly important. Let's say you casually mention that you love stargazing, or that you've always wanted to learn Spanish. If a few weeks later they surprise you with a star map or recommend a Spanish learning app, they're not just being thoughtful, they're showing that they're paying close attention. Too much attention for someone who's just a friend. This goes beyond facts. It includes emotions too. If they pick up on your moods or remember how you felt in certain situations, they may be attuned to your emotional world, which is a key sign of deeper feelings. Ask yourself this: do they bring up things you've forgotten you even told them? Do they connect with you in a way that feels seen? That's not coincidence. That's care, possibly romantic care. Sign number 3, their body language gives them away. While words can lie, body language rarely does. The 3rd sign that someone secretly sees you as more than a friend is hidden in their nonverbal behavior. This includes eye contact, physical proximity, posture, and subtle touch. Let's start with eye contact. Do they look into your eyes just a little too long? Or do they quickly look away, only to glance back when they think you're not looking? Prolonged or repeated eye contact is a classic sign of attraction. It's an instinctive way of trying to connect. Then there's mirroring, when someone subconsciously copies your gestures, tone, or posture. This is a psychological phenomenon known as limbic synchrony, and it often happens when we feel emotionally bonded or attracted to someone. Physical closeness is another tell. Do they tend to sit or stand near you, even when there's plenty of space? People naturally gravitate toward those they feel close to. If they're always choosing the seat next to you, that's not random. And don't forget about casual touches, like a light hand on your shoulder, a quick hug that lingers slightly, or brushing against your hand. These minor touches are often safe ways to test physical boundaries, especially when someone is trying to gauge your reaction. If you feel like there's a gentle magnetic pull when they're around you, chances are they're feeling something more than friendship. Sign number 4, they get jealous, subtly. Jealousy, when controlled, can actually reveal a lot about how someone really feels. The 4th sign is that they show subtle signs of jealousy when you mention someone else. Let's break this down. A close friend might joke around or act neutral when you talk about someone you're dating or crushing on. But someone who has romantic feelings will usually react in a slightly different way. They may change the subject quickly, make a sarcastic or dismissive comment, seem unusually quiet, or even ask lots of questions about the person you're talking about. Psychologists call this relational threat, when we feel someone else might take the place we desire in someone's life. If they start acting a little off whenever you mention another person, it's likely their emotions are being stirred. What's important here is the subtlety. They won't come right out and say they're jealous, but you might feel a shift in energy. Maybe they withdraw slightly, or try to reassert their presence in your life. Also, watch for the comparison behavior. If they start subtly comparing themselves to the person you mentioned, either to seem better or to put that person down, it could be a way of trying to protect their chances. These aren't just signs of a protective friend. They're signs of someone who doesn't want to lose the emotional territory they're secretly hoping to claim. Sign number 5, they share deep, personal things with you. Next, let's talk about emotional intimacy. The 5th hidden sign that someone sees you as more than a friend is when they open up to you in deeply personal ways. This means they're not just sharing their favorite movies or weekend plans. They're telling you about their past, their fears, their childhood, their insecurities, and their dreams. According to psychological studies on bonding, emotional vulnerability is a key indicator of romantic interest. When someone starts to develop feelings, they want to be seen and understood on a deeper level. So if they're trusting you with things they wouldn't normally tell others, like stories from their past, family issues, or personal challenges, it's a sign they're building a bridge to emotional closeness. They might say things like, "I've never told anyone this, but it's easier talking to you than to most people." Or even just check in with you emotionally more often than usual. When someone shares the private parts of their life with you, it means they feel safe, and more than that, they want you to see who they really are. That level of intimacy usually signals that they want something deeper. Sign number 6, they give you special attention, even in group settings. Here's the final sign, and it's one of the most overlooked. They treat you differently when others are around. In group settings, observe how they act. Do they still focus on you? Do they light up when you walk into the room? Do they seem to prioritize your opinion or seek your approval more than others? This behavior suggests preferential attention, a psychological pattern where someone subconsciously elevates the person they care about in social hierarchies. You might notice that they direct their jokes toward you, glance at you for reactions, or give you subtle touches, even when surrounded by others. They may also go out of their way to make sure you're comfortable. Maybe they serve you first, save you a seat, or step in when they see someone making you uncomfortable. All of these actions are signs that, even in a crowd, you stand out to them. That's not friendship. That's attraction cloaked in subtlety. So there you have it. 6 hidden signs that someone secretly sees you as more than a friend, rooted in psychology and behavioral science. Let's quickly recap. 1. They go out of their way to spend time with you. 2. They remember even the smallest details. 3. Their body language gives them away. 4. They show subtle signs of jealousy. 5. They open up to you emotionally. 6. They give you special attention in group settings. If you've noticed several of these signs, there's a good chance that your friend might be hoping for something more. But remember, everyone expresses feelings differently. Some people are naturally warm and affectionate. What matters most is consistency and intention. So if you're seeing these patterns, and especially if they're paired with your own gut feeling, it might be time to take the next step. Whether it's starting a deeper conversation or just paying closer attention, trust yourself. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who might need it. Let us know in the comments, have you ever noticed one of these signs from someone close to you? Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious, stay confident, and we'll see you in the next one.